how we mine coal for the rest of this century and for the early part of the next century.
All we want is what we got now. Don't take our community life off us. Leave us keep our quality up and leave our men go to work. That's all we're asking for. Give us employment for our youngsters so they got some future to look forward to.
We have made a start on putting the industry right by getting out of some of the hopeless places which can never make a contribution to cause prosperity in the future.
I live in the valleys, boys, right? There was 47 mines there 20 years ago. All right? There is one mine there now.
They are not interested in the future of democracy. They are trying to kill democracy for their own purposes.
I was born and brought up in the valleys, and indeed I still live in the valleys. In the 1960s there were quite a few coal mines in the area, and we used to play on the coal tips, regularly. My first really experience of photographing a miner was when I photographed my Uncle Bill over 30 years ago in the early 1980s. And he was a miner at Bedworth Colliery, and he came home from his night shift, so it was quite early in the morning. It was around about 6 o'clock, I think. And I took some portraits of him, some quite close-up ones. The image that I chose from my contact sheet was quite poignant, and I still love looking at this picture even today, 30-odd years on. Bill passed away a few years ago, but I think this picture really sums his personality up. He was a lovely, lovely man. The 30 Years Ago project is about going back to mining communities that I photographed in the 1980s. Obviously now things have changed drastically. There aren't any deep mines in South Wales anymore. It's given me the chance really to go back and photograph and re-meet some of the people that I did photograph 30 years ago, and also to meet new people and to make some environmental portraits of them. In the 1980s, I believe it was around about 1983, I visited Mardy Colliery. It was my first visit to take photographs, and I went into the pit canteen, and there were some miners. Either they'd come up from their shift underground or they were waiting to go underground, and I photographed a gentleman in the canteen called Roy, and I thought it'd be nice looking at the pictures to go back, and I went back fairly recently and asked around, and I found Roy. And I took some new portraits of him, and he was telling me a lot of stories, but he told me that when he finished in the pit in Mardy, he didn't want to go to a different pit, he didn't want to be transferred, so he went and did some A-levels, and then subsequently he did a degree, and he worked the rest of his life, or his working career, as a nurse, as a psychiatric nurse. To meet the miners again, they're just lovely people. They're very genuine, they're humorous, they tell sad stories and things that I'll never forget, the rest of my life. It's a real honour and a privilege really to be able to photograph these men and of course their families.